tell your face said it all to me. I could tell you didn't wanna leave, 'cause you knew what was best for me. Who knew what we had become? A monster inside of us. We had it coming along for a while now. We had fire burn at the start, but emotions put it out. Just waiting for something to spark again. I keep asking myself how it's happened, and now I'm asking. How will I go on? Now I'm asking without wildfire at the start, then we turn to ashes, taken by the wind, gone forever. I wish I could go back and turn the table when we were younger. I wish I could change you. We fell out, we were the stars with no light, we're the snow in July, we're the earth with no light. I keep asking myself how's it happened, now I'm asking how will I go.
Hey guys, welcome back for another episode of the GhettoRig podcast, episode 143, if I'm not mistaken. For those who don't know, my name is Eddie. This is Jay to my left. Behind the cameras, we got Miggy. It's our number one producer in the world. Don't forget about our official sponsors, Vitality Wellness Center and UFC Gym Largo. There's links in the description to check those things out. Yeah, so another episode for you guys. See what we got in pack for today. Start with this article. You got any questions for us today, Miggy?
I have something I gotta tell you. I didn't tell you.
Okay.
I had a Colombian guy talk to me today, and I gave him your little link.
Okay.
Let's see if he's gonna.
That sounds so gay when you put it that way.
I gave him his OnlyFans link.
Yeah.
Right.
Subscribe to Eddie's OnlyFans. That's our third official sponsor.
Yeah, a link in the description. Check it out. It says UFC Gym, but it's an OnlyFans.
Please
Have you
tell
seen-
me it's not one of the scams though. It's not where you like pay $20 and then you got to pay another $50.
You have to click on the link and check it
Subscribe.
out.
Yeah, you gotta.
You got to get, bro. I love it. I love it when some girls just give you all the goods, you know, all for one price.
Those are the unsuccessful ones.
Those are the unsuccessful ones.
Yeah, those are the ones that only make like $500 a month. But anyway, have you seen that reel? So apparently there's these guys did this thing where this bunch of jiu-jitsu guys and girls get together in a room. So a guy has a computer with a covered screen, and then he only puts sounds, and they have to guess if it's jiu-jitsu or gay porn.
That's a good one.
That's hilarious. No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, so I saw it the other day, and these guys are like going crazy, and they were guessing. They got like, I think they got 3 correct, and then last one was gay porn, but sounded exactly like what jiu-jitsu would sound, and it was actually gay porn. So then when the guy removes it, they like blurred out the screen because it was just straight up like gay banging.
It reminds me of the time me and my buddies watched porn together on Discord.
Oh my god, I don't want to know about this, maybe.
Yeah.
I really don't.
I was there for the premiere of
Yeah, like,
No
like-
Jumper.
Oh,
Plug
for
Talk,
it was a no jumper thing.
for Plug Talk.
Oh, talking about no
You were
jumper.
out there.
Did you see what he just said? So apparently they had some people on a no jumper pod. No, no, not no jumper, but flagrant podcast. That Andrew Schultz was on flagrant podcast, and they had these conspiracy theory people. I told you about it, but Miggy didn't know about this. You hear me, or you're doing your little producer thing?
Both.
Both. So
Multitasking, motherfucker.
so Andrew Schultz was like, we invited these people over, and he's like, I told them, give me your juiciest, the best conspiracy theory you have. I don't want, like, he says, I don't want like a B grade or C grade. I want the A grade, the top shit. And they're like, you know how there's like these Boeings that are like falling out of the sky, falling apart, and like
Yeah,
apparently people are getting wasted. The whistleblowers are getting wasted. He said they're trying to get us used to these planes falling out, meaning like you still fly with Boeing and things like that, and you're like, yeah, some of them fall out. He goes, the reason they're trying to get us used to like them falling, like becoming a normal thing. He goes, guess who else owns a Boeing? What do you think, Miggy?
Donald Trump.
Yep. He's pretty much, these conspiracy theories people are saying that this is all by design so they can JFK his ass out of the sky. So I thought this is hilarious, you know. But these are the same people that also say the lizard people live under Antarctic cap. So
you already have your CCW, right?
yeah.
Okay, never mind. Miguel, would you be interested in getting it for close to almost free?
But you don't need it.
Close to almost free sounds good.
Yeah,
but you don't.
I don't have the money to do.
No, close to almost free.
But you don't need a CCW.
I know, but you can still get it for Florida. It's a lot better.
I was like, what would you need it?
Yeah, you don't need it, but I was thinking to still do the class to just go over basic firearm safety regardless. My manager, he has certification. He's a firearms instructor. Yeah. So
well, the class is gonna be cheap. It's you paying for it to get it that's gonna cost you money, because I think it's like $100 for the license.
So after that, no, he gives you the certification. You just have to file it with the Department of Agriculture afterwards.
I thought because you gotta go there, they gotta take your picture and like.
The only way that I would see that coming in handy would be if you travel to another state where they do require a CCW. Yeah. And you would like to carry.
Florida's CCW is applicable to 37 other states.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean it's a federal thing, so I would hope it would apply to everything.
Well, it's not necessarily a federal thing. It's that other states accept Florida's CCW as valid in their state. That's actually how it works.
I wonder what the difference would be. Like, is it?
I don't know, but that's how I've
maybe
heard
like
it,
different
heard
stand your ground laws or scenarios like that. I don't know.
Every state probably wants their own money. You know, the rules are probably the same. They just want their money.
They just want the people to get the CCW at the state.
Yeah, at the state level, and they're just like fingerprinting people, knowing who has them. You know, it's just another way to generate money.
Yeah, I could see that. There's a lot of that nowadays.
I mean, I can't blame them. That's what state gets money.
We've transitioned into a subscription model nowadays, right?
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Premium services.
What do you guys think the subscription model for the U.S. is?
Taxes. Taxes.
And it's not, you can't opt out of that one.
Yeah, that's a mandatory.
Yeah, it's a mandatory subscription. Yeah, kind of like Netflix. You can't really watch Netflix.
Something you can't live without, I guess.
Yeah, but you can watch the like pirated movies and shows. Like if you go on different websites, same thing with taxes. You can like avoid taxes, but then
the risk.
You know what I mean?
You have the risk of the FBI.
I remember one time I got a in the mail from Spectrum saying, and it's funny too because they flag you for like a specific movie that's licensed and all this stuff. It said that
it was Sony. I bet you it was Sony, because I've gotten it from Spectrum for Sony.
I don't know what movie it was. It was shit, I can't remember what movie exactly it was. It named the movie.
Yeah, everything. It's Sony production. Yeah.
Not necessarily the production of the movie. No, the exact movie I watched and everything it named.
That's what I'm saying. If it was produced by Sony,
I'm not sure exactly who produced it.
That's where I've gotten flagged by Spectrum. But, every time it was Sony.
They sent me the thing in the mail. I don't know if it said exactly what studio it came from, but it just said the name of the movie. It said exactly the date and time I watched it and everything. And it flagged me for that, and they sent me a thing like a warning in the mail.
Yeah, they've done that to me.
Do you feel weirded out?
Yeah, that means they know exactly. They watch it. They know exactly every video you watched, the title to it, when you watched it, where you watched it.
Yeah.
What you were doing before you watched it.
That is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right. They know what categories I like, I guess.
Hey, save that shit in your history. Ease of access.
You know that's designed. It's a evolutionary design for you to replace old with new. Cause shit gets like old.
Yeah, you get used to things. Same thing with food, everything.
Mm.
Your car, your clothes.
No. I'm saying, are we talking about the same thing?
I
The
know. I think we
categories.
are talking about the same thing,
Okay.
but I'm saying like that happens with everything in your life.
No. These things like actually get old. Like there's like a 2 or 3 day, like shelf life on this.
Okay, I'm done if we're talking about the same thing then.
You set
can
your
move on.
categories in
We
your
can move on.
Pornhub.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
your
what about it?
How it's
Your
2 or 3
jizz.
days.
yeah, top shelf life is 3 to 4 days. Shelf life on your jizz.
Oh, that's not what I was talking about.
Yeah, he's just talking about the government keeping his history, his categories.
No,
favorite
I know
categories
that,
saved.
but what I'm talking about when you say your categories in Pornhub, that's why I said there's a adaptation, and a lot of dudes will do this. Every dude does it, and if they tell you they don't do it, they're fucking lying.
Have you guys ever been scrolling down and you see those tribute videos?
Tribute videos? What do you
Tribute?
mean?
What is this fucking Mockingbird? What tribute videos?
Mockingbird?
Yeah.
No.
You talking about Hunger Games?
Yeah.
So, do you guys know what a tribute video is? Do you know, Eddie? All right, I guess I'm the weird one. So, a tribute video is when, like, some guy or girl comes to a picture of somebody else, to, like, videos or something. So, there's people out there with, like, their phones, just jizzing on their phone or their, like, TV screen, bro.
No, I don't watch those videos for sure.
I haven't seen those before.
No, I don't. I'm not saying I see them, but when you're scrolling down, you've never seen them,
Your
bro.
algorithm's weird.
Nah,
dog.
bro.
Yeah.
Yo, we're in two different categories then,
You're in a
fellas.
different echo chamber, dog.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely in a different echo chamber.
What do you guys think of Andy Elliott?
Who?
Andy Elliott, the motivational guy, the bald guy. He teaches a lot of self.
Who is this? Who is this?
Andy Elliott.
Andy A. Pull him up on a
I'm gonna
picture,
pull him up,
maybe.
but you guys are gonna know exactly what I'm talking about.
Andy Elliott. Yeah. Him and his
Okay.
wife, they're both
Yeah,
crazy.
I've seen him before.
Let's listen to this real quick.
Cars do you sell a month? 10? Okay, can you sell 40 cars a month? But you're not selling 40 cars a month. If somebody kidnapped your family and said they were going to kill them if you didn't sell 40 cars, could you sell 40? Dude, my family was on the line, I'd sell 40. You would deliver 40, am I right? I need his back against the wall like that. Screw trying. We're done trying. I'm sick of people telling me they're trying. Okay, how many cars do you...
Yeah. Him and his wife. Pull up his wife. His wife is just as intense.
His wife is buff as shit. His wife is buff as shit.
I don't think I've ever seen his wife.
That's his wife.
What we got here, baby?
I like it, except for it has kind of a.
Pull her up. Pull her up. Just
What's her name? I don't know her name.
Right there it says
Tag.
official Jacqueline Elliott right there on the top.
Oh.
yeah. Pull her shit up. No, just pull up when she's talking. Not this bullshit that she's walking around and stuff. The ones when she's talking.
Most companies, they'll be cool with you as long as you're hitting the numbers, as long as you're hitting the results. And then when something isn't right, they're going to be like, dude, what's your problem? Or get your shit together or else, right? And then it's a threat.
Right.
And we've never threatened anybody in our company. We've always kept a circle of safety that says, look, if we hired you, it's because we believe in you. And if we believe in you, we're going to push you to your max potential. We understand that you're going to have great days. We understand that you're going to get your ass kicked.
But include us in all of that. Include
Yeah,
us in all that,
yeah.
so we don't misdiagnose, so we don't think something
No,
about you
go
that's
out.
not actually.
Go down to where she's like presenting.
True sex equality.
Say goodbye
The
to
reason
losses.
why our company is growing and the reason if she doesn't make it, you guys are the ones that are gonna fuck it up. I'm like, you guys are the ones that are gonna start flirting with her. You're gonna start making her second guess herself. You're gonna start making her feel uncomfortable. This is gonna be up to you guys for her to make it. So you guys are either gonna have her here and you're gonna see her like she's not even your sister. She's like your brother, dude. Like this is it. She's like your brother. She's when we went to chase our dreams, we had to say goodbye to a lot of different people in our life. You're gonna tell your friends, and you're gonna tell all these people that are probably out there doing drugs,
Anyway.
drinking, or probably.
Anyway,
Yeah,
forget that.
she's more a motivational speaker.
Mm.
He actually trains like salesmen and
You seen Wesley Watson? Pull him up.
Wesley Watson.
The guy went to prison for murder, and he was gonna go for capital punishment, which means basically they were
Is
gonna
he a football player?
no, Wes Watson. Yeah, that guy. So let me give you the backstory about
Yeah,
him.
I've seen this guy before.
Yeah, so he went to prison. He was there for 10 years, and the way he got out, the prosecutor passed away, so nobody prosecuted his case and they let him out. Otherwise, he was gonna get capital punishment. Just play some of his videos when he's talking to people.
When he's talking to people.
People don't realize that they're walking hypocrites. Like a doctor who's supposed to be about health, but he's fucking 40 pounds overweight or just looking like shit. I mean, why are people so foolish as to not even have the level of introspection needed to be like, is what I'm saying aligned with who the fuck I am? And that's what most people need to fucking do. And I see a vision for you that is undeniable. And that's what you need to be
pause this.
nowadays. There's so many.
So his company, on his own, he generates close to 3 million a month on his own through text messages.
What does he do? Does he send dick pics?
It's just like, dude, he gets on guys' cases like, work out, you're not good enough. Why are you fat? Like, why aren't you making money? Like, shit like that. And they pay him for consultations.
I don't know if I'd ever pay for consultation.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. If you want to excel
Why
in,
would I?
well, if you want to excel in life, you need mentors. Because you on your own, you're not going to figure it out on Google. I promise you that. You need someone that's been through in and out. Like, you can go to Google and look at YouTube videos of jiu-jitsu till the fucking cows come home. You're not going to be good at jiu-jitsu until a coach actually shows you how to do this shit. You're just not. So that's why you need mentors. Now, I'm not saying you should choose Wes Watson or the other guy, but what I'm saying is you need a mentor that's within the field that you're going to. You need that guy. And once you kind of learn of what that guy knows, then you need to look for another mentor that knows more than that guy. But you kind of have to do like a progression,
build
right?
up in the industry.
Yeah, you need a
It's
you,
networking.
yeah, you need a, because back in the day, everybody kind of kept it within a family. Like if the father had a business, would teach the son or the daughter, and then they would like the father had the experience, then would teach the son or the daughter that experience early on. Then son or daughter would go on with father's experience, gain their own experience, teach their own kids, so on and so forth, right? But nowadays you don't have that, so you need somebody out there that's going to be your mentor. But anyway, but talking about weird, you want to click that article that had 24 things about the Bible? Yeah, that. I want to get your thoughts on this. Handling unblessed meat.
The soul touch sick any unclean thing, whether it be a carcass of an unclean beast or a carcass sick of unclean cattle, starts this Leviticus rule. We know where this is headed, but it is confusing, extended to even unconsciously touching an unblessed, therefore unclean carcass without realizing it was infected with decay. Choosing to become a butcher in biblical times may have been dangerous.
Now let's pick this apart. Why do you think would it be like this?
Handling unblessed meat.
No idea.
So back in the day,
I think it's just because the disease is spread and people saw that something was decayed and they were like, "Oh, disease, let's stay away from it."
well, back in the day, they didn't have refrigeration. They didn't know what the storing is. They didn't know that you could keep the meat at cool temperatures and this like that. So they didn't have those options. So that's why when they would kill something, they would have a priest come in and bless it right then and there, and that's what's considered blessed meat, right? Like it's not
So
gonna
that-
have.
Do you think the priest was like the family doctor of the house?
Well, the priest wasn't the family doctor of the house, but priests were considered higher up. So you wouldn't just butcher the cow or the pig in fucking shit. You would put it somewhere where it's a little cleaner, because priest has to walk there and they don't want to get dirty. So the area was much cleaner, less chance of getting bacteria, so on and so forth. Hence, you had this stupid rule in a book that unblessed meat is bad for you. It's the same thing with, in the Bible it says you can't eat fucking fish and milk or any kind of milk products. Why? Because back in the day, fish and milk would go bad really quickly. You get you foodborne illnesses. The reason Jews and Muslims do not like to eat pork, they don't eat pork, it's against their religion, is because you
Jews
need
have
to,
that too?
yeah, you
I
need
didn't
to
know that. I thought
thoroughly
it
cook.
was just
Yeah, Jews
Muslims.
don't eat pork. You need to cook the pork or it has to be kosher. Not that they don't eat it; it has to be kosher, which means they have to have separate sinks. meat is in separate, fish in separate, like everything is cleaned in separate sinks, right? And separate, even separate like cutting boards and things like that. The point is that pork, you have to cook it thoroughly, otherwise it has bacteria. The way pork meat is, bacteria will get inside the pork meat versus steak will stay on top. That was
you can eat like a rare steak.
Correct. But ground beef is different. When people order burger medium, that's actually bad because they're grounding that meat, so they're grounding bacteria within the essence of the meat, right? So this is one reason. I think this is why it is like that. And then having short hair, I don't know what the idea of this was.
Y'all shall not round the corners of your heads.
Turn it down.
Though some may consider baldness a modern condition, historians have records of baldness in
Not your phone.
1500 BC. The anti-hair cutting rule may have made some men feel even worse about their pattern of baldness. Moreover, one can't help but feel sorry for women back then, and they had very few guidelines compared to their male counterparts. So it was just an unattractive thing.
Well, healthy hair have been since day one. They've been a predetermining factor for health and fertility. So if you can maintain healthy hair, that means you're most likely to be your body most likely to be healthy, and you're most likely to be more fertile. So I think that could possibly be something related to that.
Could, but
every single thing that's in the Bible, you can relate to some things,
some logical
reason why. Keep going then. Alcohol in church, which everybody drinks wine. Even Jesus fucking drank wine on his last day. So
shit, he's not gonna go out without a drink.
Yeah, I think priests wanted to get wasted, and that's was like, oh, why don't we just say this is blood of Christ, and we just continue to drink it?
What else was there to do other than drink, fucking sleep?
Not only that, they also made a whole bunch of wine and beer. Like Belgian priest monks are known for making beer, and that's one of the best beers in the world, considered one of the best beers, the Belgian beer, right?
What makes a good beer though? To be fair, beer is
it's to taste, bro. It's to taste. It's everyone's got their taste. But the point is that they also generated money with this because they would sell that shit and generate money.
All right. Holding a grudge. Most people who haven't read the Bible know about an eye for an eye, so they may feel Leviticus has mixed messaging when it advises against grudges. This ideal is healthy, and holding grudges is just about the best way to make one's lives miserable, so we agree this rule makes sense.
Yeah, I think holding grudge doesn't matter where it comes from. Home ownership. This one is crazy. So apparently, in the book it says the land is mine, and you're not supposed to sell it. Basically, trying to say that God owns the land, and we're just here as guests. We're not. This is not ours. But I think this was created for church to own all the fucking land and pay taxes on it. I think this came down the road.
But then again, that verse that it says the land must not be sold permanently because the land is mine, and you reside in my land, and as foreigners and strangers.
I bet you. I bet you that was added, but some priest in there.
I mean,
it was not from.
Do we ever really get to own the land permanently? No, we die.
No, you do. You do own the land permanently in United States as long as you pay your taxes on the land. If you don't pay your taxes, they'll come and take your land.
In the scale of things, you don't. We're talking Bible verse here. We're not talking about the law.
Well, I think in this case, what happened was some priest just put that rule in there into the Bible, like they penciled the shit in, so the church can own the land and people continuously pay taxes or pay rent basically to the church because they're on the church land.
Basically, what I'm stating is the second part of this. Therefore, we're all mere stewards of the soil. It's just symbolic.
So, what organization doesn't pay taxes to United States?
What, sorry?
What organization does not pay taxes to United States?
Foreign land?
Religious organizations. No church ever pays taxes. So that land, they don't pay taxes on it.
Or nonprofits?
Or no, I don't know about nonprofits, how they do with their land, but I know churches for a fact don't pay taxes.
Okay.
I don't know about nonprofits at all.
I think nonprofits, just because they had some tax free stuff that they had to Best Buy one time.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. But I know churches do not pay for sure.
Companion planting, Leviticus 19:19. Companion planting with two or more different seeds in a crop is a taboo in the Old Testament, especially in the tribe. Today we know the benefits for the soil. If you planted your squash with your cucumbers in Moses Town, you might have found that horticultural police on your sandstone doorstep.
I'm sure this has to do something where you cannot plant two plants together because then it becomes bad and then you eat it and die or have a sickness. So they didn't know exactly what it is. So they're like, oh, you just don't plant anything together. Just plant it separately. You know what I
Doesn't
mean?
make any sense. to me.
Separate.
Doesn't make
What
sense. No.
what two plants could you combine together
I don't
that would
fucking
make
know.
it deadly?
I don't fucking know, man.
I don't know.
Tattoos, yeah.
You shall not make any cuts in your body for the dead, nor make any tattoo marks on yourselves. I am the Lord, says Leviticus. So 3,000 years ago, a carpe diem ink on the small of your back or a Celtic hoop on your bicep would be enough to excommunicate someone from society. One can only imagine what locals have made of Takashi 69 and the Island Boys' cavalier use of facial tattoos.
I like how they reference those guys.
Tarot cards, you're not supposed to predict the future because God already gave you your life, so you shouldn't know.
Or holding
just-
seances of like visions.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, anything that predicts future
Huh.
is against religion.
We don't know the fucking future though, so that makes no sense.
Disrespecting your elders.
Oh, maybe that has to do with trying to keep all the business for themselves. Like you can't see the
Could be.
future, so people can't go get
Yeah.
tarot card readings or practice other
Yeah.
similar religions.
Yeah, just keep coming to me. I'll tell you
Yeah.
what's going to happen.
Yeah, or keep praying
Yeah.
to me so that
Yeah, so
everything
good
goes
things
well.
happen. Yeah.
Disrespecting your elders. Leviticus 19:32. Stand up in the presence of the elderly and show respect for the aged, says the scripture. Fear your God, I am the Lord. Leviticus, written by Moses, is dense with the virtuousness that earns believers the right to call themselves holy. One such lesson is to respect one's elders, a virtue some may consider strange in today's irreverent Western society.
I agree with this. I don't think it's a religious thing. I think it's just a simple respect thing. You should respect your elders. If they're older than you, you should respect them, period.
Respect your elders.
Respect them,
as
period,
long
even if they
as
have
they
even if
show
they're constantly disrespecting.
Yes, they're older. They should know better.
They should know better,
as
but clearly
long
they
as they
don't.
Yeah,
show
but
a
see, that's
certain
the
amount of
thing.
respect.
That's the thing. Like, to me, is the experience these people had is a lot more than yours. You might not understand why they're doing that at this moment, but down the road you might. They could be wrong.
No,
You
I
might
don't
never
think that-
So
understand
you
it.
would take blatant disrespect.
No, you don't
Blatant
take-
disrespect, no. Blatant disrespect, I would not. But if they saying something that I don't agree with and arguing, like, I'll have a conversation, but I won't argue or say you're stupid or anything like that, right? That's the disrespect part. But I think this what this talking about is, like, if you're in a crowded bus and you see somebody older walks in, get up and lend a seat. You see an older lady trying to cross a road, go and help them. When an older person is speaking, shut the fuck up. Like, these are the things that they're talking about.
No, I don't think so. They're talking about disrespecting your elders, not having respect.
Yeah.
So you're saying if someone's sitting down and an old person walks in, you just because you didn't stand up, that's disrespectful?
Correct, because they're older, which means you're younger, you have more energy and more strength than an
although,
older
Eddie,
person.
it does
So
say
by
here-
respect, you sit him down.
It does say here that it's stand up in the presence of the elderly and show respect for the aged. So it is
Yeah.
also saying show respect.
Yeah. It's kind of like in a Japanese culture, right? The way they have it in Japanese culture, when they hand business cards, they have to use two hands to hand the business cards. And then also, whoever has a higher status in a society bows less. Whoever has lower status than that person bows more. Like, these are the things of sign of respect that they show to their elderly or someone higher in the society, right? But these are the things I do think you need to respect your elderly. Like, for example, think of you and your grandpa. What would you say? Even if your grandpa was wrong, somebody came and started talking shit to your grandpa, what would you do? You would probably knock their teeth out. You would.
It's different though.
It's not different. He's an older person and you knock their teeth out because he's talking to your grandpa. But it's different only because he's your grandpa. Right? What it's saying is that older people, they're all your grandpas and they're all your grandmas, right? Because they're older people. We need to protect them. That's what this is saying. Is be less individualistic, be more communitarian. Now, you can agree or disagree with this. I mean, it is what it is, right? Mistreating foreigners. Yeah, I agree with that.
While we may yearn for more security in our borders, the Bible has firm designs on the way foreigners arriving must be treated. The foreigner residing among you must be treated as your native born, says the book. This ethos may make certain people today uncomfortable, considering how much strain they perceive migrants to put on the economy. Still, we must remember to empathize with those fleeing persecution, like Moses and the Israelites. Worshipping other religions.
Yeah, well,
That
obviously,
goes hand
you
in
want to
hand
keep
with
the
what we were talking about
the
earlier.
business to one house, right?
Defending your husband from a beating. Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy?
Deuteronomy.
Yeah, Deuteronomy. It's like neuter.
Mhm.
Deuteronomy.
Well, that makes sense because why would you want to defend your husband if, especially if you're a female? That guy might be fucking just crazy and then knock your ass out. He probably will end up killing you. More bone mass, more muscle mass, heavier, stronger. Like, let your husband figure this shit out. Don't just go out there. And
This-
plus, they probably wanted more women, right?
The
For
scripture
themselves.
starts innocently enough saying, if two men, a man and his countrymen, are struggling together, and the wife of one comes near to deliver her husband from the hand of the one who is striking him. However, it then becomes weirdly niche, offering retribution for a wife grabbing her husband's assailant in the nether regions to discourage said attack. Then you shall cut off her hand. You shall not show pity. Damn, so if your girl comes and rescue you and she grabs the sack of the guy's
Chop, chop.
all right, you get your hand. All right, that's weird. That's weird.
Shaving. This one is weird.
Shaving. Neither shalt thou mar the corners of thy beard. Continues the scripture. Modern men have grown extremely proud of their beards, and citizens 3,000 years ago would have smiled at their hairy faithfulness. If a modern day world leader one day decreed that all men must wear beards, half the male population would continue their day as usual, while others might have a masculinity crisis.
Well, what was the beard? Like, you got to think about it, right? Back in the days, the longer was your beard, the longer you've had it. The longer you've had it, that means you're wiser.
You
So they would just look at it, they're like, oh, he's got a long beard, he must be wise. Because he's older, right? So that's where it comes down to.
How did they shave their beards off back then?
They didn't. They
Well,
literally did not.
I remember reading that Indians, like Florida natives, for example, they would pluck their
They're not native. They're not Indian anymore.
Native
indigenous
Americans, indigenous.
indigenous people, right?
Yeah.
So they would pluck their beards and shit.
Yeah, they did
And
that
and that's why they didn't have any hair.
They did that in Egypt as well. They literally would like shave completely.
Imagine, hey Timmy, haircut time.
Oh my god, that's gotta hurt like a bitch.
Yeah.
Wearing ripped jeans.
It wasn't only messy hair that would be unholy during biblical times. Do not let your hair become unkept, and do not tear your clothes. And is another Mosesian
Like
dictat,
that.
or you will die, and the Lord will be
Dictat.
angry with the whole community. The messy look, so prominent in today's youth, would not have gotten them far during the Old Testament days.
Yeah, you have to be presentable, I guess.
Eating bugs.
Well, again, it probably has to do with dietary, not knowing what it is, why it is. Eating four-legged animals, so you could eat two-legged animals. I don't know what they're talking about.
Klaus Schwab of the World Economic Forum would have been choking on his caviar had he read Leviticus. His desire for world citizens to ingest the bugs would not have passed in Moses' days. However, it didn't end there. Mice, weasels, rats, and bats were also off the menu. Who would have known bats would have come around?
Well, these are the disease-carrying animals, right? So you eat motherfucker, you don't clean it well. Next thing you know, you die, and you can get everybody else sick. So that makes sense.
These also shall be unclean onto you among the creeping things that creep upon the earth. What?
Yeah.
These also shall be unclean onto you among the creeping things that creep upon the earth.
It's just worms and snails. But do you see, like, this is when they write in this language and then they interpret and say, well, this is what God said. No, motherfucker, you don't understand what he, like, you
They don't even know what the fuck this
Yeah,
one
you
is.
yourself don't know what the fuck this says. Like, I don't know how you're interpreting this, right? Eating four-legged animals, like, I don't know how, like, what do they eat? Just chicken?
Including, so if bugs were too much to take, certain parts of the world would bristle, including furry creatures, especially cats and dogs, and whatsoever goeth upon his paws. Among all manner of beasts that go on all four, those are unclean unto you, says the verse.
What
So
can you eat
anything
then?
that sees unclean unto you means you cannot eat it. Basically.
What could you eat then?
Chicken, fish,
Grass,
monkeys, because they walk on their back feet. I don't know.
two-legged.
Two-legged.
Eating eagles. America. That's what we like, Christianity.
That's a majestic eagle, though. Like, if you look at it, it's a really good-looking eagle. You know what I mean?
It's nice.
I think
It's
America
scary.
did well picking this animal.
It's a vicious animal, you know. It's got some fucking talons.
Yeah, it's like the
It don't
lion
give,
of
it don't give a
eagles.
fuck. The wingspan's amazing. It can play great basketball.
Yeah, you carry a fucking whole goat. You know what I mean?
A whole baby.
A whole baby goat, whole baby. He's got like this cool yellow beak with this cool yellow eyes. You know,
Looks scary to me.
it is. It is a scary
I mean,
bird.
it's not something you like to have in your hand for sure. It'll tear you up.
Or land on you.
I bet you was like,
Land on you thinking you're a little baby like me. You know, that's why I'm trying to get Jack so the eagles don't take me.
trying to figure out if I ever
I
had
don't
like.
think an eagle would take you, Jay. No way it's loosening your
I
ass
think
up.
I not eagles per se, but falcons in
Yeah.
Cuba, they would fuck up a lot of chickens.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember that they would be like, "Yo, get the chickens inside." they'd have a falcon going around.
Have you seen? I think it's a falcon. So apparently it'll make a fist and then just take this dive and smack other birds in the head with its knuckles, like as they're on the ground. Yeah, it would just take a dive and then just like smack them, knock them out. And then once it knocks him out, and if he's not fully knocked out, he'll take another dive and knock him out again. And then just like tear him apart. You look it up. It's the craziest shit ever. Falcon uses, I don't know, feet as boxing gloves. It's the craziest thing. Falcon bird, I don't know, just do
Bro,
that.
you're on a different side of the internet. The crazy searches that you make me type in here.
I don't know how else to explain it. How else would you explain that? Like, it literally just like dives down. It looks like one of those, you know, like what's that plane that we have? Like, it's all very sleek and like the radars cannot detect it.
F-16,
No. There's another one.
F-35.
Maybe F-35. And its body becomes exact same shape. No. The
B2?
other one. B2? Try B2.
B2 bomber.
B-2 bombers?
No, it's not a bomb. Oh, well, maybe it's a bomber. Yeah, do
Well,
B2.
B stands as a bomber.
Yes.
B2.
Yes. Its body literally looks like a B2 bomber.
Mm-hmm.
And as it lands, like, it'll make fists and just like punch him right in the head.
Yo, let's make cockfighting legal, but instead give them boxing gloves.
So,
The fight would never end.
No,
I
until one of them
actually-
gets knocked the fuck out.
I actually looked into this, bro.
What?
The rooster fighting.
Uh-huh.
I looked into this. It's crazy. I didn't know anything about it.
In Cuba, they used to do that shit.
Yeah, so basically, what you probably know more than I do, and I'll say what I know, and then you fill in.
You got spikes and shit. In Miami, they still do
Yeah,
that shit.
the Miami they still do. So roosters naturally have this like another talon that goes
Yes.
from here,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what they use to fight. So what they do, they'll cut that, and then they'll design special spikes, and then sometimes they'll even remove the feathers along the legs so the rooster doesn't get hot, overheated, and weight is low. And as they jump, they'll literally use those spikes to like stab each other.
Yeah, I seen
It's the craziest shit ever.
They're not even spikes. They're fucking blades.
Yeah. Well, there's spikes, blades. I've looked into it. Like,
it. Look up cockfighting blades.
yeah, like they got all
Yeah.
kinds. You know what I mean? Like blades, and then they have the spikes. Like if you go through the kinds
These
that they
fuckers are
have,
samurais, bro.
yeah, dude, like legit samurais.
They also have plastic ones as well.
Don't show any of the killed ones. Like go
yeah,
go that one over. No, one over. Go one over to your right. To your right. Yeah. See, that one is a spike. It's like a little skinny one that they will use to just stab.
I wonder how many of them have stabbed themselves.
They don't, because they're used to those talons being that.
Yeah, but not that big and not sharp, I bet.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. It's crazy, man. I did a little bit of digging into this, man. It's legit, man. These guys like train these roosters, like give them certain diet, get their weight low so they can jump higher and be a little more faster with their punches, I guess.
I remember in Cuba, some kid, young as shit, he was like 13 years old at the time. He was sitting around a rink watching the cockfighting, and he bet $100 and made $800 that day. I was like, damn.
Yeah. Like these guys will like literally elect these roosters that can be this fat, and they just continue to breed them. And there's certain breeds that are naturally aggressive and naturally can be, have the stamina for it. And they, bro, like up to $100,000 per each rooster. Like they have to put this money in to go in against another rooster, and if they win that money. It's crazy. And then they said like it's actually like a round robin type of deal where they just keep fighting until one rooster prevails, and whichever rooster prevails at the end gets all the money. It's crazy, man.
Put a lot of
It's
time
funny.
in training those roosters as well.
We're in Cuba. One of Emily's little cousins comes by. He's like, I don't know, probably less than 10 years old. And he comes and he's got a bottle. And he's running around with a bottle. It's this glass bottle full of water. And he brings it over to me. He's like, look, it's a beta fish. It's a peleador. They call it, literally, they call it a fighting
Those
fish.
things are fire. I had them when I was a kid.
His mom kept telling him, where the fuck do you get that thing? What are you going to do with it? We don't have nowhere to put it, this and that.
Go.
You know
look.
where we would catch them? In the rivers, especially when really heavy rainy season. The river that was right next to us would overflow, and we would go swim at the river, and you could find them there.
How
That's
would you
cool.
catch it?
I just put them in a jar.
Just scoop it up in a jar?
Just they didn't really run too much, so you would be able to just kind of like
Grab
put
it with your hands?
under
Okay.
it and boom, bring it up, and then you just put it in a jar.
I don't know how the fuck he got it. I'll be honest. But he was running around with a beta fish.
And then we would put them right by each other, and they would kind of like go at the
Get
glass at
aggressive,
each
yeah.
other. Yeah.
And then until one of them dies, right? Because they'll like keep bumping their head until they're like.
I don't remember ever doing that. I do
Yeah.
remember getting lizards. So there would be these plants that would grow in Cuba. We call them pitillos, and they would be bendy. So what we would do is we would make a little lasso, right? Go up to the lizards when they were in the wooden shit or fences and stuff, hook them, and we would have them swinging on a rope. And then we would just walk around town with them and fight them with other lizards.
That's hilarious.
So that's what the kids would do after school. They would just go out on the street, hang out, get pitillos. Hey, you want to go lizard hunting? And then we can fight them? Sure, let's do that.
And that's how you graduated to rooster fighting after
cockfighting.
that.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Hey, shit. Go back into it.
You had to have a good enough lizard before they let you into the cockfighting place.
You gotta get a big fucking lizard, dude. Those big skull, like black, big, bulky, pitbull looking lizards.
Hey, shit.
Eating shellfish.
Yeah, again, dietary, because they didn't know how to store it. They probably all got sick.
So the Old Testament also decrees that God didn't want lobster, oysters, or clams on the menu, which may have been factored in how those foods used to be considered. In early American history, lobster was food for paupers. Now, it is now one of the world's most exclusive items, and all that have not fins and scales in seas and in the rivers, they shall be an abomination unto you. Reads the next prohibition.
Eating fat or blood makes sense. Bloodborne illnesses and things like that.
Fat or blood.
Yeah.
It shall be a perpetual statute for your generations through all your dwellings, that ye eat neither fat nor blood, says another Leviticus teaching. It is another baffling inclusion, especially considering how some nations adopt blood and fat into their food. For example, brazenly Catholic Spaniards still eat morcilla, a sausage made from blood and pig fat.
Can you imagine if you lived back in the day, and if you wanted to impress a girl, you eat piece of morcilla, and everybody like, oh man, he's such a badass. He ate a morcilla. Oh my god! Like you would be like the rebel, that would eat morcilla. That's how you would like talk to the girl, try to impress him. Oh,
Hey
shit.
girl,
Yeah, look at what I can
honey.
do.
I got some wine. I
Yeah.
got morcilla. What you want?
Yeah. Trying to get crazy tonight.
Picking fallen grapes. This next ruling comes from a good place, though one must suspect it was an oft-broken one. If you owned vineyards, picking your grapes from the ground was deemed unholy, stating, "Do not go over your vineyard again, or pick up the grapes that have fallen. Leave them for the poor and the foreigner." Well, this fits an ethos of kindness, indeed saving one's best grapes for visitors is holier.
Bling for
Bling for ladies.
yeah, that was a church thing, right? Only the priests and kings could have that bling shit.
Imagine being told you cannot wear false eyelashes, nails, or weaves, and you cannot wear jewelry or makeup. The Book of Timothy rules against such behavior. I also want the women to dress modestly with decency and propriety, adorning themselves not with elaborate hairstyles or gold or pearls or expensive clothes. It appears fashionistas would have not been welcome, in biblical times.
I think it also has to do with them not being able like to sell that shit and get money and like jet. You know what I mean? It was all designed for you to stay.
Do you think we've been finding solutions to problems presented by the Bible?
What do you mean? Yeah, we have found solutions to
Yeah.
every single one of these problems that we just read. We
Mhm.
found a solution for every single one.
That's funny to
Literally.
think about. We're just-
Except for
we've been
dissing mom
try-
or dad.
We've been trying to disprove the Bible for all these years.
You can't, because you can't disprove something that majority of people believe in faith. Now, there's a reel that I have, and I don't know if this lady's for real or she's just joking, but when you're going against people like that, it's the best way I can describe it. You know how the best way I can describe it is like our presidential election, right? You have Donnie's people and then you have Biden's people. Both can go literally commit XYZ crimes against humanity, children, animals, and these people who still say, I don't believe it. Just like, people say, I don't believe that he paid Stormy Daniels. He did. He did give her hush money of $100,000. He did. It's not the point, like, no one cares why he did it. What people care about, what they're saying is that he did it in a wrong way, meaning he tried to hide this, right? And the reason he tried to hide this because it would look bad for him to become a president. I just paid a hooker. See what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, these people can do absolutely everything, and their group of people will continuously believe in it. So when you have zealots like that, how can you tell them you make no sense? The only good argument against a religious person you have is saying, if your God is almighty, then it is absolutely crazy not to believe in a Big Bang. And they'll be like, well, what do you mean? Well, if your God is almighty, he should be able to do the Big Bang.
I think the belief of God is almost a way of the human mind. I think the equivalence of God is just guidance. It's looking for guidance and knowing that there is going to be something out there that could solve or explain something.
It's filling a void.
Yeah. So think about it this way. We have a rule, no jaywalking. However, a lot of people jaywalk. Just go downtown St. Peter, any downtown of any city. People jaywalk. It is not enforced. We have the guidance. We have the rule, but nobody really enforces it. So it's not only having the guidance and the rule, also the enforcement part, right? Like, God will smite you. You'll go to hell. Like, that's the enforcement part of this, right? If they want you to stay within certain rules, whether it's good or bad for the society, people are going to elect to break these rules. In order not to break them, they have to fucking enforce it, right? And that's when this comes in. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. The book itself is a good book. If you read that and you follow it, you'll be a good person. Overall, you'll be a net positive. But, on the other side, when you fucking condemn everybody just because they don't follow your book, it's kind of a little stupid. You know what I mean?
There's got to be a certain amount of understanding.
Yeah, there has to be certain give, but they can't, because they can't just follow the book, only half of it. Like, they have to follow the whole thing, right? So
Yeah.
that's the issue.
All right, next up we got
Lying, yeah.
This may surprise most politicians who put their hand on the Bible before Congress and in court. Moreover, it applies to those who begin their answer with "Thank you for the question, Senator," which usually reveals impending dishonesty. Just imagine if this behavior was considered sinful.
Yeah. So
Isn't
go
it
in one
weird
of
how
those
the government's supposed to be separate from
church.
but you still have to swear your hand on the Bible.
Yep. Yeah. Separation of church and government. Yep. Go to one of those Instagram reels and I'll tell you which one is it.
Supposed to be soon.
Yes, this one. Put the volume up before you play it.
To working out how aeroplanes actually work.
Put the volume right away because it's important not to miss any of it.
Still not any closer to working out how aeroplanes actually work.
But we are. We know how they work today.
But in reality, how do they work?
Well, we have mathematical equations that describe the way the air flows over the wings of the aircraft.
Can you explain how they work without resorting to science?
It gets better,
It's difficult
bro. Just wait.
not to explain the science behind it, but because of the shape of its wings, the force upwards is bigger than the force downwards, so that pushes the plane up into the air.
That's your theory. Do you want to hear my theory?
Okay.
I think they run on belief. It's just because we believe planes can fly that they do. So the media has to keep up the pretense, oh, they're just going to start dropping out of the sky. Same with Wi-Fi. There's no way that's real. We just have to go along with this pantomime or everything grinds to a halt. How come
Stop.
we're still not any
Stop.
closer to...
How many likes does this clip have? When I posted this clip, it had only 50,000 likes. And this was a couple hours ago. How many likes does this clip have?
60,000 now?
How many comments does this clip have?
That doesn't exactly say.
A lot. A lot. And each comment has another, like, its own little section of comments.
Let's see what some of these
Now,
say.
I don't know if this lady is for real. I don't know if this lady is a comedian. I didn't dig deeper into this. It's a clip. I don't know what they're talking about.
It's satire.
It's a satire?
It's satire.
Okay.
I mean, you can tell it's satire.
So she's probably like playing
There's
this
no
character.
fucking way that somebody would just say, "Oh, yeah."
Because everyone believes.
Planes run on belief.
So what I'm trying to say here is not, for a moment, think of it not being a satire. That's how these zealots are.
I can't.
Well, no. What I'm gonna bring back the conversation to religion and faith and all of these things, right?
All right.
The zealots are just like that lady, except it's not a satire for them. That's real life. Like they're actually into it. Like
When
they,
you're saying zealots, you mean practitioners,
Oh,
right?
I didn't know that. Alex says you get to choose the book. Some people have sworn in on a scientific textbook.
yeah. Oh, you get to choose the books. Okay, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
So what I'm trying to say, like these zealots, they're literally like, pick a white girl that has an below average IQ. They all believe in astrology. You know what I mean? Like things like that. Like they all believe in like.
Imagine somebody starts swearing upon a Dr. Seuss book, green ham and eggs or whatever.
I would do that.
Yeah, I'll wait my cheese.
Yeah, that shit.
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to say, man. Like, when you get a zealot like that, like imagine these people actually being this. They're not being a satire. Where you're going like this, like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, how do you change their mind? You can't. You can't change their mind.
Some people you can't.
Some people you can. You know.
Some people
you
can,
provide
some
enough.
people you
You
can't.
provide enough facts, and that makes sense, and they go do their own research.
It's
and
not
yeah.
overnight. It's definitely not overnight.
Yeah,
It takes time.
They say advertisers have to make 17 points of connection with you before they actually sell something to you. That's an average.
It takes
So-
experience and going through shit.
Yeah.
Like everybody has their phases. Like you got your rebel phase when you're in your teenage years. You might have your independence part when you're in your 20s.
I heard it's a subconscious thing where you'd say something and someone tells you that's wrong and this is what it is, and you constantly argue with it. I think they're explaining that it's a subconscious thing. Like subconsciously, your brain is saying, if you accept what they're saying and whatever you're saying is wrong, that means they have control over you, and so now they can tell you how to live, and you don't have freedom of choice anymore. And it's a subconscious thing. That's why a lot of people will argue back, and then a lot of times what happens is you'll continue to argue with someone, and they know that you're right, and then you'll see eventually they'll say, well, that's what I said, but they said completely something different. So they're kind of like switching over, basically not giving up control, saying you're right, but I'm not giving up control because that's what I said. So I don't know how much water that holds or how much of it is true, but there's an explanation. There's that one explanation at least. This was, I thought, really cool. Direct energy weapon replaces $1 million missiles at 13 cents a shot.
A new directed energy weapon is being rolled out to bolster British defense capabilities, and at 13 cents a shot, it's just as effective but a lot cheaper than the multi-million-dollar missiles it's designed to replace. The Radio Frequency Directed Energy Weapon, RFDEW, is a part of the British government's policy to respond to a changing geopolitical situation, placing the country's defense on a more of a war footing as it increases spending to 2.5% of GDP by 2030. This policy change also includes fast-tracking the rollout of lasers and other directed energy weapons. The latter is extremely important because, well, knocking out a drone that costs a few grand with a missile costing millions of dollars per round is bad economics. See, for example, the US 1.3 to 2.5 million Sea Viper missile used to take out a US $20,000 drone, as reported by Navy Lookout. Also, missile stockpiles tend to be pretty small, and swarms of cheap drones could easily exhaust them.
So, do you know the name of this?
We just read that.
What's the name of it? Can you Google how many of these are going to go to Israel or Ukraine?
Yeah, like we're gonna get that information.
Well, I mean, they'll probably make that public. Allocated to Israel or Ukraine.
No, it doesn't say that. This
Because
what does that say? The U.S. gives what? Go back. There's one that says the U.S. gives Israel 1.2 billion for laser beam weapon. Oh, this one's different.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So isn't this crazy how United States, UK, and all of the major countries are just kind of testing their new weapons in these war-driven situations? Like we're not directly involved in it, but we're sending them all our old equipment because we need to replace our new ones. They buying it from us with the money that we gave them, right?
You bring that up. Lords of War. Great movie.
Yeah.
It's a good fucking
Yeah,
movie.
Nicolas Cage.
Lords of War.
Nicolas Cage.
Lord of War.
Or are you talking about not Shia LaBeouf, but the gordito,
Yeah, Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill.
Lords of War.
There's
Yeah.
God of War, I think, right? There's
God of War's the
Nicolas
game.
Cage.
Talking about War Dogs.
War Dogs. Lords of War is
the
Nicolas
one with
Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah,
War
War
Dogs,
Dogs
is
is
the one
with-
with Jonah
Yeah,
Hill.
and
Yeah.
Jonah Hill and what's his name?
War Dogs. Very good movie. I don't know the other guy's name.
The other guy. He's in my favorite movie, Whiplash.
What was his name?
Miles Teller.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that guy.
If you guys haven't seen that movie, Whiplash, really good.
I fucking love that movie.
Yeah, War
Also-
Dogs is pretty good.
Also, today I cried a little bit at
What?
work.
What happened?
Yeah, I was watching a Netflix movie.
At
Which
work.
one?
Yeah,
What got you? What
it was
got
one of
you?
the new ones.
What is it called?
I forgot.
Yeah, right.
It-
He
it-
didn't forget.
It made me cry.
You
didn't
didn't
forget.
forget.
You just-
What did you watch? Tell us the name.
I can look at my Netflix history.
Oh, we want to know.
I really
We
don't
want to
remember.
know.
Yeah, this is you let the bird out, so might as well.
It's a little rom com, you know.
Oh, damn, nigga.
Oh
It was
my
like that?
god.
Yeah, dude. I was bawling my eyes out. You guys, well, this is more of a question for Jake because you don't have two monitors at work. You just be watching shit in the back.
I have 2 monitors at work, and I use my phone to listen to podcasts as I work. I don't really watch.
Mother of the Bride.
I don't
the
know
movie.
what that is.
It's a little rom com. It's
What part got you?
it's just the ending where the mother was like, "I'm just trying to protect you" or whatever, and she started crying, and yeah, it got me, man. It got me.
It got you. It got you.
It got me. It got me.
Oh, I'm surprised he told us that. Nigga, what can I say?
I'm bored. What could I say?
You ever watch a movie where you want the bad guy to win?
Well, there's some movies that
Yeah,
are set up like that.
yeah. I was gonna say there's some movies that the bad guy you
No,
want
the
him
bad
to
guy.
win.
There's some ways that are set up that's the bad guy. Then he kind of throughout the movie you decide that it's a good guy, and then he ends up winning or losing or whatever, or dies as a martyr.
Venom.
Right? Sure. But what I'm saying is like you straight up watching it. It's a good guy and a bad guy. They never change roles, and you want the bad guy to
I
win.
feel about that about women, especially if they're hot. I'd want them to be like if it's a villain and it's a girl, but they're hot. Fuck it, do it.
You know, when you would know about this, and you probably, I don't know if you would know, but you would know about this. Back in Soviet Russia, we used to watch this cartoon of a rabbit and a wolf, kind of like Tom and Jerry.
Okay.
We just had a rabbit and a wolf. I always wanted the wolf to win, and wolf never won. And he would always do some fuck shit to the rabbit, and rabbit would always win, kind of like Tom and Jerry. Tom does all kinds of shit to Jerry, and Jerry always wins. But I always wanted the wolf or Jerry or Tom to win.
No. You know what I tell you about Cuba? Just we have revolutionary cartoons. You know.
Yeah, all of the fucking Russian shit
You guys-
came
I
over
was
to you
gonna
guys.
ask that
Love it,
question.
che.
You guys have that?
That's the
What?
Because we had Elpidio Valdez.
Bro, the Russian cartoons ranged from like
But was it like
good for
was
kids
it-
to
was-
like these very like
But was it blatantly
thought-provoking
was
shit
it
that kids never
blatantly
understood?
promoting like the country, like patriotism?
Yeah, like Russians had that shit too. They took all the ideas from, you know.
I'm gonna
Look
show
at that
you
right there. It says,
I'm gonna show
a,
you.
a false ideal of democracy can only lead to disillusionment and meddlesome whatever.
El pido el tiren con- I'm gonna show you my favorite clip of this. So they charge in cavalry.
¡Arriba, Mambises! ¡Mambises, bestias! ¡No tiréis con ventanas!
Boys ran out of bullets and they started throwing windows.
No tiren las ventanas.
Yeah, dude. So that kind of even it aged well, because in Cuba, if they don't have something, they'll make something up to replace it.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So I don't know. Do you guys have like a show like that where it was just like
Yes.
promoting the
whole thing, bro, the entire movie, all the movies were based on Red Army is the best, like the communism is the best. Cartoons were like, it was straight up propaganda, bro.
North
You grew
Korea?
up-
North Korea, you could say, was one of the revolutionaries in that, because they even kidnapped the director, South Korean director, to direct one of their movies. I don't remember actually if it was a South Korean or Japanese director, but it was to promote a propaganda film.
Yeah, dude, it was just like, you know, like Red Army liberating fucking people, and like they're the good guys and this and that. Like they would put Stalin and Khrushchev as like fucking geniuses, you know, even though these people killed millions upon millions of people, you know what I mean? Their own people.
What's this?
So this is the movie that was one of the movies that was created in North Korea. It's called Pulgazari. 1985 North Korean kaiju film directed by South Korean filmmaker Shin Sang-ok. It is based on the legend of Pulgazari, a metal-eating creature in Korean folklore, and is loosely based on the lost 1962 South Korean film of the same subject, Pulgazari. Shin directed the film under the orders of Kim Jong-tu, then heir apparent, after he and his wife were kidnapped in 1978 by North Korean intelligence. Pulgazari was the last of several films he made in North Korea before escaping to the United States in 1986. Whenever officially released in most parts of the world, the film is available online, with countries like the United States considering the movie as part of the public domain.
Dude, that's crazy, bro.
So they just straight up hey, make a movie for me. Oh, you don't want to make it? Okay.
We're just gonna get you.
I'll get you a private jet next Tuesday.
Yeah, bro, like, you know how in Cuba, like, people disappear if they talk shit about the government?
Yeah.
That's how it was.
I mean,
Where we
I
live.
don't know. I never really experienced it.
That was the one
but-
piece of advice I got from most people before I went over there. Was like, don't say shit about Cuba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While you're in Cuba, don't say
Yeah,
nothing
don't say
about
anything.
Cuba.
Hmm.
I think I almost slipped out one time. I was like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. You learn real quick. You're gonna learn today.
That shit was funny. Like I told you, we were driving by the street one day, and a relative says, "This literally goes, this is where all the fucking snitches live."
Go another reel. Go another reel. Yeah, play that. I thought this was hilarious. Play that one.
You've identified what harassment looks like in the workplace. Let's take a quick quiz to test your knowledge. Chris approaches Caroline in the break room and says, "Are you a freezer? Because I want to stick my meat in you." Now remember, Chris's dad owns the company and he's 6'4", so this actually does not qualify as sexual harassment. Now let's look at another scenario. Jack brings you flowers at your desk and says you look beautiful. Now, although Jack is your boyfriend of 3 years, his father does not own the company, and he's only 6 feet tall. So this does qualify as sexual harassment, and the only course of action is to sue the ever-living out of Jack. Now that we've identified what harassment looks like in the workplace, let's take a quick quiz to test your knowledge. Chris approaches Caroline in the break room and says, "Are you a freezer? Because
Oh, all right.
Go pause it. And I find this to be true anytime, like, if the girl likes you, it's not harassment. But if she doesn't like you, it's harassment.
Where you see this?
Anywhere. Like, the whole Me Too movement was based on this.
Uh-huh.
If somebody doesn't like you and you approach them, that's you're harassing me. But if they liked you, then it's okay.
Yeah.
You can say
I
the
never
same
saw
exact
it- I
fucking
never
thing.
saw it that way with the whole Me Too movement. I mean, I get in the sense of what you're saying, where when if the girl doesn't like you and she comes up, she finds you disgusting, right? But I don't think I didn't see it as her finding it as sexual harassment.
Well, most women don't like most men. That's proven at this point by
Okay.
dating app data. So
Just in general.
majority of
Just
men
in
are
general.
unlike. It's kind of like, okay, Machine Gun Kelly, for example, right? You'll find one girl's like, oh, he's ugly. No one likes him. It's like, well, wait a minute. You don't like him. But there's women that are lining up to like him. As a matter of fact, that Megan Fox is married to him is a sign that women like him. But there's always one girl that will say Machine Gun Kelly is ugly. Or, I don't know, pick an actor, is ugly, right? But then there's a bunch of women like, huh?
Adam Sandler.
Yeah, there's a bunch of women that will say Adam Sandler is ugly. Or another good one is the singer, Hispanic, he's a salsa singer.
Mark Anthony.
Skinny Mark Anthony. You ask the girls, oh, he's ugly. He's married to an international Miss whatever, Peru is it? Or I don't know what it is. You know what I mean? He's
Miss
dated
Gold
the
Digger USA.
yeah, he married J-Lo. He married her. So like obviously
How long did that last?
it doesn't matter. These women found him attractive enough to get married to him.
I'm not sure which one did it worse or dreamed him worse, the crack or her.
Either way they did it. You know what I mean? You can't tell me that he was hiding all this the entire time. Like
Which part?
like
The crack or
him
her?
doing the crack, the cocaine, and all of that shit.
All right.
So he got caught doing crack.
I mean, it's just it fits in the industry. Salsa guys were always kind of like the rock and roll of the
of South America.
yeah. You had Willie Colon. You had
Imagine dancing for 6 hours without a stop, bro. Who's got that kind of energy?
them boys were on the stage.
He
Yeah,
said,
let me
"Look,
get a sip of water.
Yeah.
Just do a quick line.
coming back. What is that? It's the powder from empanada.
Oh,
How'd you fade?
I just had a powder donut.
Yeah. What's a donut? All right, play another one.
So I saw this thing saying that Williams, the F1 team,
Yeah.
they were managing their part list through an Excel spreadsheet of over 20,000 rows.
Shit.
And
How does that load?
I don't know, but apparently they had some big scandal that the wrong parts were grabbed during like a stop or something like that, a pit stop, because of the organization being shit. And this isn't the first time this has happened. Apparently another team as well has was even worse. Like 2017, the same thing happened, but they had 3 times the amount of like rows in their Excel spreadsheet managing all their parts. Yeah, that's what happens when you have these low budget teams. They just figure out the way to do it.
You know, some engineers really good with Excel. I'll design Excel, guys. Don't worry about it. I got this.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah, and he's the only one that knows how to use this shit. You know,
Yeah.
nobody else has a clue.
Yeah, exactly. So someone he's probably on vacation. They're like, yo, how do we work this shit? He's like, all right, do this. And then the whole weekend was fucked.
Yeah. Cutting edge new solar panels are 1,000 times more powerful than traditional panels. So our traditional panels, I think they're about 28% efficient or something like that. This is in 20s, right? So let's read about this a little bit, see what they're talking about.
Researchers have discovered a new method to increase the efficiency of solar cells by a factor of 1,000. Researchers at Martin Luther University Halle-Wittenberg have discovered a new method to increase the efficiency of solar cells by a factor of 1,000. A team of scientists achieved this breakthrough by creating crystalline layers of barium titanate, strontium titanate, and calcium titanate, which are alternately placed on top of one another in a lattice structure. Their findings, which could revolutionize the solar energy industry, were recently published in the journal Science Advances.
That's enough. These articles are usually super long and it explains how it works. But I think our solar panels that we have right now are silica based, if I'm not wrong, and they're only like 20% efficient. So if that's the case, man, like the solar cars
And
are
you know
not too far away.
You know
what I mean?
Elon was talking about a solar farm of X size would
Yeah.
power the whole United States.
100
How much
square
more-
miles in Utah.
How much more efficient would it be made with this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's
It would be
pretty
only
interesting.
1 square mile.
Yep, technology only proves to get better and better. It never really stops. Never says it comes at a standstill. And if it does come to a standstill, it's because they found something to replace it.
Can you imagine?
It seems like they're still trying to figure out as well. It says that they don't know what about the materials is it that's
making it better?
producing more energy. But there's a lot of entrepreneurs, interested in investing in this technology.
Well, no shit. But can you imagine? You buy a piece of land, you get this like tech, and put it on there, and then say, "Hey, my neighbor, you can get the electricity from me."
You
Say,
guys
"Fuck
want
you,
anything
too."
from 7-Eleven?
No.
Nah, I'm okay, thank you.
Diet Coke maybe, or Coke Zero.
I think there's some outside
Okay.
still. There's some
Okay.
in the fridge.
That's good enough. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I was always waiting for something like this to come up, and when I saw the article, I was like, "Oh shit, this is pretty cool." Um, think corporate greed is the leading cause of inflation. Think again. The reason I posted this article because it was coming from CNN. So now, because we're in an election year, I'm not sure what's going on.
Oh, I can bring a little bit up about that.
Yeah.
Biden coming up in regards to weed legalization.
Mm-hmm.
He said that he planned on making it, instead of, what is it, a stage 3 drug, just a stage 1 drug.
What is state? What are the other
For-
things in level 1?
I
Like
think
crack,
like level
heroin.
1.
In level 1 or level 3?
What? No, I'm saying like let's look at the comparison of across the board.
I think
let me
level
look up the
1
right
controlled
chart.
substance is less
Controlled
controlled. I think.
Federal drug.
Controlled substance levels.
Federal. Schedule 1, yeah.
Schedule 1 narcotics and things like that, right?
Yeah. So, Schedule 1. Drug possesses the highest potential for disorder and misuse. They have no medical use and are illicit or street drugs. Example of Schedule 1 includes heroin, lysergic acid,
LSD.
diethylamide, mescaline,
MDMA.
meth,
Let me zoom this in for
MDMA.
you.
Yeah, okay, methicillone. Marijuana is legal in some states and is still classified as a Schedule 1 at the federal
So
level.
he's probably going to put it as Schedule 3 then,
Yes, that's what I meant.
or Schedule 4.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Schedule 2, reduced potential for disorders. In Schedule 1, they are higher risk for both physical and psychological dependence. They have high capacity for both use and disorder misuse. They are typically prescribed to treat severe pain, anxiety, insomnia. Examples are fentanyl, hydromorphone,
Yeah, all the fucking drugs that
methadone, morphine,
prescribed.
oxycodone, fentanyl, listed twice. Things like that. So there's a bunch of things I'm not going to try and pronounce.
Schedule 3 drugs have a lower misuse potential than 1 and 2. Drugs in this category may cause physical dependency, but more commonly led to psychological dependency. Medication in this categories are often used for pain control or anesthesia or appetite suppression. So I think this probably would be, marijuana would go probably Schedule 3. That makes more sense.
What are some examples of Schedule 3? Ketamine, anabolic steroids. Okay.
Yeah, so I think it would go Schedule 3 because they've been coming up with some data right now that it actually, if you continuously smoke weed, it messes with your ability to deal with anxiety better. Some people have been reporting that they're a little more anxious when they don't. Yeah, well,
there's a lot of studies
I don't
coming
want to say
out about that.
dependency.
I've also seen studies saying that if you're prone to something like schizophrenia and things like that
there's
it can
things
make it
to
worse.
Yeah, there are things to it. So that I can see why I would go Schedule 3. What's Schedule 4?
Schedule 4 drugs have an even lower misuse potential than 1, 2, or 3. They have a limited risk of physical or physiological dependence. Example of Schedule 4 substances include alprazolam, carisoprodol, clonazepam, clorazepate, diazepam,
Was that
lorazepam.
Italian?
All of these fucking drugs my mom fucking takes.
Oh,
Diazepam,
That's why you saying them so well. I was like, oh
There's
shit.
probably pain pills, some sort of a pain
midazolam,
pills.
temazepam, tramadol. That's
I've
another
heard of
one.
Yeah,
tramadol.
it's a pain pill. These are pain pills.
All those drugs my mom takes.
Schedule 5, drugs are the least likely to control substances to be misused. There is only very limited physical or psychological dependency. Example is a little cough medicine with codeine in it.
Any diarrhea.
But that's weird because codeine is known as like a street drug at this point, being
Because
misused
they overdo
like crazy.
it. Because they overdo that shit. That's why.
Yeah, that's what they call lean.
Atropine, yeah. So it's like
So it's cough medicines with codeine. Those don't typically have that much. It's just a small amount. Back then,
it says right there. When the contain codeine, it must have less than 200 milligrams of codeine per 100 ml.
yeah, because back then, what made the law change, if I remember correctly, was that people were making their own codeine because they sold the ingredients to make the codeine over the counter.
It's just like they were making meth with buying those.
Pretty much. It's just like the
pills,
pharmacy was giving them the ingredients, and they were just cooking that bitch up.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
All right, cool. So So basically, this is talking about how there's more to it than just corporate greed. Like there's some sectors that yes, indeed, there was corporate greed, such as like gas and oil. You read a little bit of it.
So, some progressives have frequently blamed corporate greed for fueling the high costs of living that Americans are fed up with. Yet, new research from the Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco casts doubt on the greedflation theory. Economists said that San Francisco, or I'm not sure if that's San Francisco, but SF Fed found that corporate price gouging was not a primary catalyst for the inflation surge of 2021 to 2022. The Fed researchers did find that some companies exercise pricing power by raising prices above the production cost, a gap known as markups. For instance, markups spiked for gasoline, cars, and other goods in 2021. Likewise, there were increased markups for repair, general merchandise, laundry, personal care, and other services, according to the Fed. Not unusual. Of course, the inflation crisis was not limited to just a few key sectors, it was economy-wide. The annual inflation rate fell slightly in April, but it still remains well above the Fed's 2% target.
And it went up again today.
When zooming out and looking at markups across the economy, the SF Fed economists found little evidence that price gouging was the main culprit. Aggregate markups, the more relevant measure for overall inflation, have stayed essentially flat since the start of the recovery. The paper concluded, rising markups have not been a main driver of the recent surge and subsequent decline in inflation during the current recovery. In fact, the SF Fed found that the path of collective markups over the past 3 years is not unusual compared with previous recoveries. It angers them and angers me. This runs counters to the argument from some progressive, including Senator Elizabeth Warren, who for years has refocused the inflation argument on corporate greed.
Don't worry about this. And then Biden said something about this as well. Keep going down a little bit. So basically what they're saying is that, according to Fed, this markups, like, they were consistent. But another thing I want to point out is that there's data right now that $2 trillion of savings, 2 trillion with a T, have been wiped off since 2021. People basically had savings in amount of $2 trillion, and that $2 trillion is gone now, completely gone. And that's partially they're blaming a couple of things, partially due to buy now, pay later type of deal, because they're considered predatory lending, because, the percentage go about 300%, 400% on buy now, pay later type of shit. And then in addition to that, a lot of people couldn't afford something and they dipped into their savings to buy those Christmas presents, this and that and the third. There was no save this money type of deal, right? So the 2 trillion is gone. And right now, majority of defaults, bankruptcies, and people losing their houses are because they cannot make the mortgage payment and house prices are coming down. And now for the first time, we're seeing that the houses are upside down, meaning they owe more on a house than what the house is worth.
This week I actually learned something very interesting that could help people. I didn't know that some insurances don't list this in their policy, but if a tree falls on top of your house, sometimes they put an agreement that if it doesn't destroy a certain amount of your house,
they're not liable for it.
They're not liable for it. So that means that you would have to repair that whole entire section of the house. And I heard that some people even lose their home because they can't afford to fix the home.
Correct.
So the bank just takes it back.
Correct. And it all comes in from them not explaining the policies thoroughly, and the way they get around it is like, we give you the pamphlet, which in turn it is your job to read the pamphlet and understand it. True. But who sits there and reads a 50 to 100 page paper? And no one does that. It's not a light reading.
And a lot of people are just like, if a tree falls on my house, the insurance will cover it. It's all right.
Well, here's the thing with insurance. The only time you need to carry insurance, there's 2 types of insurance you carry on your house. One is a PMI, which means if your house, whatever you owe on your house is more than 80% of the cost of the house, you need to carry PMI, which is basically gap insurance. In case it goes upside down, that gap insurance will cover the rest, right? But then when it's below 80%, you can carry regular insurance, because majority of mortgage companies will require you to carry insurance, because if, God forbid, something happens, they don't want you to just kind of like say, fuck it. They want to collect the money from this insurance, right? Now, when you do pay off your house, you do not need insurance. So insurance on houses is not a necessity. However, you do need motorist insurance on your car. Why? Because if it's an accident and something happens to somebody else, you should be able to pay for the damages if you are at fault, right? But a lot of times these house insurances, especially in Florida, they have to be sneaky like that. Why? Because 70% of all claims specifically related, for example, to roofing, all claims from United States come from state of Florida. 70% of all roofing claims come from state of Florida. Majority of flooding claims come from state of Florida. So a lot of times these insurance companies will not include those things in it. And unless you specifically ask for these things, whoever is your agent, they just want to sell you the insurance, right? They don't care about this, right? An honest insurance agent is a very rare thing, right? So that's why you need to know when you go get insurance, you kind of have to do like legwork on your own. And you need to ask these questions. Hey,
Just
is
to
this
make
covered?
sure.
Well, yeah. Where does it show that this is covered? Show me. You know what I mean? You kind of have to know these things before you get into insurance. And unfortunately, that's what it is, man. They give you that 100-page paper and they're like, well, you accepted it, you signed it, now it's your thing, right?
Yeah, the thing is a fucking stack of papers.
Yes.
It's a fat stack. It's a
And
book.
fuck the fat stack. If they put it in a language where you can fucking understand, now you have to scan the shit, put it in ChatGPT, and have it translated for you. What it means for you to understand what they're saying.
Let's
You're
talk a
very
little bit
likely not
about
gonna
that.
Understand everything.
New ChatGPT came out.
Yeah,
or was announced.
4X or 4G
4.0.
or 4.0. And they said
So
it's a fucking game changer.
What have been the improvements with ChatGPT? What are they like?
So
Can
now
you make those clear to me? Because I haven't seen anything.
So the ones
go
that-
to go
the
to
ones-
comparisons.
we'll look
Comparison
at it,
list.
but the ones that I know are you can live translate now, so you can have it translate a language live.
Oh, like speak into it?
Yeah, so you can tell it, hey, ChatGPT, I want you to translate English to Spanish whenever I speak it, and whenever he speaks Spanish, I want you to translate it from Spanish to English. And then you can speak, it'll translate, the other person speaks, it translates.
Okay.
You can also have practice interviews as if the ChatGPT was like a live person. You
More
can have
interactive.
a more interactive conversation with the interface.
The fact that we don't have an AI built into Google or
We do.
or Siri yet is
Siri
stupid.
no. Siri no, but Google does. Google and Meta
does.
do.
Now they're starting to add it. I was watching their ads.
Yeah.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah, Google
Pretty
is
sweet
legit,
stuff.
bro.
I know Meta has theirs.
Meta has
Even
it and
Snapchat
Google has
has
it.
an AI built in where you can
Yeah.
ask it stuff.
Siri, Apple doesn't, but they're, I guess, like actively working on it. But Apple has always been known not to have their shit until 2-3 years down the road anyway.
When it's like mastered.
Yeah, when it's mastered. Yeah, like Apple. I look at Apple as the
VR headset.
Toyota, as the Toyota of technology companies. Like, it's not broken. Don't fucking fix it. Don't do anything new. And if you're gonna do something new, test the shit out of it. Make sure it's really legit before you fucking put it in production.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where the other ones are just like, we'll use it and we'll figure out the fucking kinks as we go.
Yeah,
You know what
like
I mean?
when the new technology comes out, they're like, oh, well, let's implement it and make it better as we go along.
Yeah.
Versus Apple's like, we're not doing it until it's like 100%.
Yes. Yes.
What do you
Like
think?
it pisses me off that we still have a fucking notch.
What do you guys think is the
Versus,
better?
like, Samsung? They have
Full
the
screen.
small little hole
Mhm.
that's there, but when you're watching a video, or whatever, it has an overlay of a screen on top of it that's a little more pixelated. You can kind of see it.
Yeah.
But like, say you're watching a movie, you can really not. You can't
Yeah,
really
you can
see it,
tell.
which is really cool. But it's kind of something that's not perfect yet. So that's why I think Apple hasn't done
You're
it.
correct. Yeah. Go ahead. What were you
What
saying?
is it that I can smell? I don't know if it's the gummies or your drink.
What?
My drink is empty. It's the gummies.
You want gummies?
No, it just smells like strong.
It's the gummies, bro. These gummies are like, these are the legit gummies. These are the
These are
guys.
the good ones.
I'm gonna cover the name Gummy Company. If you recognize your gummies, sponsor us. But these are the best gummies.
They are, and they're like gluten free and all this free bullshit. They're the best ones though.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Mm.
Google search has
What's your
an AI
favorite?
now
Like 'em.
that will
What's your guys'
summarize the
favorite,
first page to give you an answer.
What's your guys' favorite energy drink?
I don't really like energy drinks.
I don't
You
either.
don't? You don't like a little Celsius?
I've never even. I don't think I've tried Celsius.
Caffeine fucks me up. I can't do too much caffeine.
Caffeine
fucks me
fucks
up
you
too.
up,
hmm
or does it just make you shit?
No, it gives me like jitters. I hate that feeling.
Oh,
I dislike that feeling.
I don't think
I get nauseous at night.
I could see that. I can get a little nauseous, but I don't know if like jittery is a thing. I don't know. People tend to exaggerate that feeling.
No, bro.
It's like, oh, I drink an energy drink and I'm just tingling.
Bro, I saw
that's
Corey.
I'm not exaggerating. That's exactly what it is.
I
bro.
saw Corey down at 6:00, boy. 2 monsters right before class yesterday.
How
Dude.
fast was he speaking?
I don't know, man. That shit was like, Corey. I saw him come back from Aldi with 2, and I was like, Corey, right now? And He's like, yeah, bro, one for later or something like that. I think he said one for later.
Yeah, we do that shit a lot.
But
Of
he
office.
downed one, and then instantly I see him like 2 minutes later cracking the other. And I was like, yo, where's the other one? He's like, gone.
Next topic: Publix potato wedges.
Fire.
What are we rating them
Which
on a
ones are
scale?
show me?
Fire.
Show me.
Fire.
Oh, potato, like the cooked potato wedges.
Yeah.
So
Pretty good.
funny.
Same, I had them for the first time. Not the first time, but just the wedges alone and their own packaging.
Mm-hmm.
Those things are big. I feel like I had for $4 about 3 potatoes worth.
So
Big wedges, dude. I'm talking like.
Look up the ones. Make sure we're talking about the same ones.
until I came to United States, I never ate French fries in mass quantities, and everything is always eaten with a potato wedges, and that was my grandma's favorite thing to cook. But they wouldn't deep fry them; we would just saute them in a pan.
Yeah, those things are fire.
Yeah.
Biggie.
Potato wedges, hands down, if they're done correctly with the correct potato, I think they're much better than a French fries. To me,
1000%.
To me,
1000%. Those are better than any French fry.
yeah.
What type of sauce would you guys recommend eating with these? Because I
This,
fucked up today and I didn't
just
grab
like that,
any
bro.
sauce
Salt
at
and
all.
pepper, basic salt and pepper, a little bit of
I like some
oil.
ketchup.
Some ketchup would have been nice, man. Some ketchup would have been nice. Some Chick-fil-A sauce would have been fucking amazing. On those
Bro,
things.
if you go to Chick-fil-A and you don't get honey roasted barbecue, you're missing out. I'm just telling you.
I don't like barbecue sauce.
It is not like barbecue sauce at all. Trust me.
I don't
It
know,
is-
dude. I have this feeling. It's like I kind of just know what I like, and I just don't want to change. You know.
No,
That's
you
some
don't know
picky
what you,
bullshit.
bro. You don't know. You're just a picky eater. Just recognize that. Go with it.
You're
We're
a
okay
picky
with that.
bitch.
We're okay with you being a picky eater, but you don't know what you like, bro.
Honey roasted, that shit's fire. I don't
You
like
can't know
barbecue
what you
sauce.
like if you never tried it.
I don't really like barbecue sauce like that. Like unless, for
Wait,
example,
wait,
like
wait.
Korean barbecue sauce, that's okay, but
I
it's
don't
way
like.
different
I
than
don't like
American barbecue
teriyaki sauce either.
This just dawned on me. This was your first time eating the potato wedges?
No,
Ever?
I said like the
Publix
sole
ones.
just only potato wedges because they do sell it with their little meals that they
Yeah, with the
sell.
chicken.
Oh, but
in
you've
it,
had
so-
them before.
I've had them
Oh,
before,
okay,
but
okay,
they're
okay.
smaller. Today I had the just regular potato
Oh,
wedges.
so they got like a separate section of like
Yeah,
potato
they-
wedges.
So they got like chicken sandwiches that you can get for lunch, and
Oh,
you can
shit,
get
okay.
potato wedges, popcorn chicken as well. They had this waffle with chicken tenders.
So okay, so you're a picky eater. Unpopular one
in a
unpopular
scale of 1 to 10, I would say I'm like
A
I'm
9,
like
bro. You're a
7.
9.
I'm like a 7.5.
You're a 9, dog.
7.5.
On picky eater scale?
Yeah, he's a 9, dog.
I'm like a 7.5.
A 9?
No, but motherfucker does eat just bread by itself. Like I give him a 7.
A 9? That's too high, bro. Come on.
I just give him a 7. I retract.
I think
I think
I
7 is
retract. I retract my
even,
comments.
I think 7.5 is even
7,
high.
7.5. I'd say that's what I am.
All right, so
No.
unpopular idea that you have
I'll
about
give you like a
food
6.
that most
Unpopular-
people love, but you're like, I can't do it.
Unpopular opinion about food. Popcorn chicken is good, but some people like
No.
they praise.
No,
popcorn
no,
If
no,
you
no,
like,
no.
if you praise popcorn chicken, you don't know what food is.
No.
You
Wait a
got
minute.
baby-
When
baby
I say
palate.
that, I
Yeah,
mean
you have a child's
gotta-
palate.
I mean a food that you've tasted and you're like, I will never touch this shit with a 10-foot pole ever again in my life. But everyone else around you loves that shit.
Chicken gizzards.
Chicken
Oh, I don't
gizzards.
like chicken gizzards. I don't like that shit.
Yep. My mom actually made that today. She's like, yeah, dude, I opened the thing and she's like, you're not going to like that. And I'm like, what do you mean? What is
You
it?
invite me over. I
I
like those.
thought it
things.
was beef and it wasn't beef. It was gizzards.
What
Yeah, I
about you,
don't like
Eddie?
chicken gizzards.
One food.
But she makes them good. I mean, I'll have
That
one or
everybody
two from
likes?
time to time.
Avocado.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
a good one for you.
Yeah, I don't
Everybody
like
likes
avocado.
avocado except you.
Everyone loves avocado, especially Hispanics, bro. And the white people love it. That's their bougie food, and that's our broke food.
To
I
me,
don't like it. I try it all the time. I still eat it to this day, like randomly, with sushi and whatever. If it's in it, I'll try it, but I just don't like the taste of avocado.
I'm the same way with.
Cocina, it's like that song from.
It's
Calle-
too green.
It's like that song.
It tastes too grassy for me.
It's like the song from Calle Ocho. Cocinan con aceite de aguacate para cosechar nalga de 14 quilates. Yeah, there it is.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a song.
Lost.
Anyways, keep on. Move on.
So for me is the only one that I enjoy eating out of the plethora of these things out there is cheese pizza. That's the only pizza I enjoy eating. Rest of the pizzas I cannot
I
stand.
do not mind cheese pizza.
I don't mind cheese pizza. There's sometimes when they get like ham and cheese, I'll grab a slice of ham and I'll grab a slice of cheese.
No, I don't like ham. I don't like pepperoni. I don't like any sausage. I don't like olives, mushrooms, none of that shit. Plain tomato sauce and cheese. That's it.
I can do some mushroom on pizza.
I like ham.
I'll fuck up a margarita with some basil on
Pizza.
top, but that's
Pizza
it.
is maybe one of the times that I'll actually accept some veggies on my pizza. So green.
Wait, you also don't eat vegetables?
Green peppers, mushrooms. Not often. Just sometimes.
So how do you shit? How do you get your fiber?
How do I shit?
Yeah.
I have diabolical shits, dude.
Well, no shit, because you don't need no vegetables.
I shit like 3-4 times a day.
How?
How do I shit?
Now, how do you shit 3-4 times a day without getting fiber in you?
Oh, I don't know, dude. It just comes out. Today,
It's what happens, Jay.
I had sometimes I have a log.
You need to have fiber to have fucking normal stool bowel movement.
No, I mean it's
We
kind
figured it out, dog.
it's
Like
kind
a little
of
bit of fiber. You know, I mean, you don't need to be a viejita eat fucking prunes to get the fucking shit out. You know, but
I don't have a consistent diet right now, so my shit's been all over the place. Sometimes I have a log before the drain. You know what I'm talking about? You know.
do you shit every day 3 times?
I think for the most part I shit at least 3 times a day.
At least, damn.
At
That's a
least,
lot.
at least
They say,
3
bro,
times.
you're supposed to shit every time you eat. Like 20 minutes right after you eat, you're supposed to shit. That's like a healthy bowel movement,
No, you can't. You don't process food in 20 minutes,
bro.
The one from before.
I take
Bro.
a shit
From your no.
every
way in
day.
hell.
Every damn near every
If
day.
anything, it's the one from your the 2 previous meals before that you're actually shitting out after that meal.
Bro, who do we know that's like really strict about their food?
Emily.
No. Like strict, like I'm eating this at this time of the day, this many times a day. He was on a podcast with us. Ron.
Right.
As many people as ever worked with Ron, they're like, man, I fucking hate it. Every time we get to location, he's got a shit. He eats and he's got a shit. He eats, he's got a shit. That motherfucker shits like 5-6 times a day. Like that's a healthy bowel movement. Like you eat, you shit.
But it's not right away the same food.
I don't fucking know how it works.
No way. No way.
I'm just gonna stick to having regular cereal. that's my fiber.
Do you eat a lot of beans? Because I like comment that Taco Bell helps.
I actually
Well,
don't.
I like Taco Bell.
No, I actually stopped. I cut back a lot on my beans these past 2 years. Like I only have beans maybe like once a month, and even then,
I like beans.
in the past 12 months, I probably had beans.
Your grandma
10
makes
times.
one of the best beans, bro. Like your grandma's beans
I
are
want
like
to cook some
every
fire
time-
beans. Like it's just I have to be in the mood now for those. for
Lately,
those
I've been
beans.
more in the mood for like Cuban black beans. That's what Cubans make the most is black beans.
I like
Yeah.
it when my mom varies it. My mom varies it. She does black beans. Sometimes she does pinto beans. Sometimes she does a little chicharo action. You know,
Mhm.
garbanzos.
Like his grandma's beans came, like his grandma's beans are like 1-to-1 to my grandma's beans, and I miss my grandma's beans. So every time I get the fucking opportunity to eat his grandma's beans, bro, I'll load up on them motherfuckers. I might be
I
gassed
love-
up for the next week.
I love a really good seasoned
Yes,
beans.
yes,
You
because
have to have good seasoning. in
thank
that
you.
bitch,
You just
bro.
said it, bro. You just said
A lot
it.
of the beans that I've tasted, at least in America,
You bite into it and it's
it's just-
nothing.
just bland.
Bland. Yes,
It's just no taste.
it doesn't seep inside.
It just tastes like water almost. That's
Yeah.
all it
Yeah,
is.
I've had that.
It's watery.
All right. Well, no, we're good. We're gonna wrap up anyways. Thank you everyone for joining us. Everyone in the chat and came to visit Vitality Wellness Center and UFC Gym Largo official sponsors. Make sure to check out the descriptions, the links in the chat. Or damn, I jumbled that all over the place. The
Yeah, you
links
did.
are in the description. Check that shit out for UFC Gym Largo and Vitality Wellness Center, guys.